Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. Let's talk about Biden. Let's talk about the loophole he just found. Let's talk about buying votes. I mean, getting people out of debt. Let's talk about student loan debt forgiveness. Here we go. This is out of Zero Hedge. Loophole. Biden administration forgives $39 billion in student debt for over 800,000 borrowers. I'm going to be honest with you. I do not agree with this. I believe that if you took out a debt, you should be paying it, especially if it gave you the ability of making more money, promoting higher, all of that kind of stuff. End of story. I believe that our country was founded on great morals and principles, especially a hard work ethic. I believe that our country became something great because of hardworking men and women that were striving for a goal. And when we're looking for handouts or we're given this forgiveness on the backbones of other hardworking people, just like entitlements, honestly, I believe that it creates weak men and women. Right? Hard times make strong men and women. That's the problem. That's where we're at right now. Let me know down in the comments. You may disagree and say, "Hey, I've got it rough. I'm trying to pay these student debts and I've been paying them for 25 years." Well, in the end of the story is, hey, where were you at with your budget? Where, how many cars have you bought that you didn't save up for? Where are you at? How many vacations you been on? Every single person I know, honestly, that complains like that and says, "No, you don't know how hard it is." I'm like, well, you know what? I don't know what it's like to go to Europe, but you sure do because I watched you on Facebook. End of story. End of story. Life is about choices. Your finances are about choices. Your success level is all about your choices. End of story. All right, here we go. Sorry, it's a rant, but you know what? It's true. And until we all get to the point where we go, you know what? I got to take responsibility for myself and not expect somebody else's hardworking labor, their taxes they pay to pay for my stuff, even though I'm probably their boss. If we get to that point and we start thinking about, literally other people around us instead of just ourselves, our country will become great again. As suspected, following the Supreme Court's recent ruling to block the Biden administration's student loan forgiveness proposal, the administration has created their own loophole to do it anyway. Let me stop there also and say, just so you know, this is a great way to cover up the news cycle and what's going on with cocaine at the White House. I'm not joking. This is a great way to keep the news cycle going in a positive way that gets people all excited, because I don't know if you guys know this, but when stimulus checks came out, social media exploded. And there are people around that honestly should not be given financial advice that actually literally went out and got their credentials to be able to legally go do so, became huge on the internet. Because why? They were talking about stimulus checks. And everybody was vying for the free money, and they wanted it so bad. And the government knows how easy stories like this and things like this are to change the perception of the public about the economy, about their lives, about their futures, all right? And what I believe is this is personally just a trap. On Friday, the administration announced the forgiveness of $35 billion in student debt for over 804,000 borrowers. It's bringing back so many memories of all the different loans that we dealt with PPP and stuff like that. The new program is thanks to a new regulatory rulemaking process by the Department of Education, which tweaked the student loan program's income-driven repayment plans. Under those repayment plans, borrowers get any remaining debt canceled by the government after they have made payments for 20 years or 25 years, depending on when they borrowed and their loan and plan type. In the past, payments that should have been moved a borrower closer to being debt-free were not accounted for, accounting to the Biden administration. For far too long, borrowers felt the cracks of their broken system failed to keep accurate track of their progress moving their progress towards forgiveness, said U.S. Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona. Eligible borrowers will be notified in the coming days by the education departments. The tweaks which created the loophole include counting payments for borrowers who had paused their payments in various deferments and forbearances, as well as those who had made partial or late payments. According to the Department of Education's Friday's action addresses historical failures and administrative errors which miscounted qualifying payments made by borrowers. Those affected include Americans with direct loans for federal family education loans held by the department. Let me stop there and say, you guys know that I'm really big on paying off debt, and that we can't get through this next crash unless we're debt-free. And when you're debt-free, the American public, if we could stop getting into debt, we take away the power of the money makers. And that is very, very important. When you take their power away, to print money and then charge you a rate of interest, you now go from a slave to an owner. And that's very, very important. And I want people to understand how big that is. Now, searching in different terms, let's think about this. When you get debt forgiven, there are statistics out there that show that people run right back into debt. When you have a house and you refinance your house and take cash out to pay off debt, those same people remain, like literally 99% of those people, 1% learn their lesson and get out of debt. I'm one of those people, right? But 99% go straight back in and get that car just to impress somebody or get a bigger house, or they just get into more debt. And what this is, it is a form of slavery. I don't care what color you are. If you're white, black, yellow, red, black, blue, green, I don't care. I don't care what sex you are. The fact of the matter is, we're all slaves to the lender. It says in the Bible. And if we can get out of debt, this is the best thing, right? If you think about it, when people are that close, somebody that is still in debt for their college loans for 25 years, all they're doing is making minimum payments. They have a very serious issue with debt. And I want people to understand how big of a deal this is. There's a lot of people that are going to be offended by this video, and they're going to be going off like, you don't know how bad it is. I'm like, no, you know what? I do know what it's like. I know what it's like to just about lose my house. I know what it's like to work literally 7 days a week for multiple years just to make ends meet. I know exactly what it's like to make the hard decisions and not go on that vacation with your friends when they too are in debt up to their eyeballs. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to raise multiple kids. I know it's hard to make difficult decisions. But the thing is most people don't know how hard it is to make those difficult decisions. They just run down to the bank. And we've got to get people into right thinking right now. Because if you think that just a little bit of debt forgiveness is going to change your life, it's not. A change in your mentality is going to change your life. And the thing is, that's going to be you, not daddy government, to come in and swoop in and save you from your last $20,000 in debt, which is literally only amounting to a small monthly chunk of your income because you are paying the minimum payments. Also, you have to understand that this is a political tool used to distract you from what is really going on inside the government, and that is they are trying to enslave you right now. They're even issuing a new digital currency. If you don't know what that is, please have the guts, the courage to say, what are you talking about? There's a digital currency, and they're going to outlaw cash. There is a multi-year plan to outlaw all cash so that they can track you, identify you, tax you, and control you, because if you say anything out of line against them, your money gone. Guys, please understand how big of a deal this is. If you understand how big of a deal it is, share the video and hit the thumbs up button, because we need to get the right message out. And that is that hard times create strong men and women. Good times create weak men and women. And right now, getting your loan forgiven, that doesn't help you become stronger. It makes you weaker. All right, guys, that being said, I thank you so much for watching. Economic Ninja is out.